I realized that in all superhero stories, the hero's greatest nemesis is often the villain who used to be their best friend. Hi, and welcome to Flawsome Talk. I'm Tashti Flo, and here on my channel, I talk about my good and bad experiences in Hollywood, working as an entertainment reporter, and as you know, a lot about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's legal drama and everyone that's involved. So I did post a couple of videos this weekend. If you missed them, I'll link them below. And as you know, last week was crazy with this new Taylor Swift twist that no one saw coming. I mean, that was such a shock, I think, to everyone. She still has not come out and denied any of these things. So if you missed it, Brian Friedman alleged in a letter to the judge that Taylor Swift had been threatened and blackmailed by Blake Lively, that if she didn't support her publicly, she would leak private text between the two of them. And also that she had threatened her to actually, or demanded that she should delete the text, the private text between the two of them. Anyways, the judge tossed out the letter in the end, but still, we all now know now. And the fact that Taylor Swift hasn't come out yet and said anything about it, to everyone, it seems like this is actually true. Although we can't say that, we have to say it's alleged. But still, I think if this wasn't the case, Taylor Swift would come out and comment on it for sure. Anyways, in regards to this really gave me goosebumps this morning. Thank you, Nicole, for sending me this and for tipping me off about this. This is so crazy. So there is this commentary by Taylor Swift, or this interview with her, or a conversation with her, when she talks about the song in It Ends With Us that she released in 2020. It's called My Tears Ricochet. I hope I pronounced that right. But anyways, she's commenting on this song and what it means to her. And when you hear her talking about it, it is like she is describing what has happened between her and Blake Lively. It's like she knew it was coming.
It's kind of a song about karma.
Yeah.
It's a song about greed. It's a song about how somebody could be your best friend and your companion and your most trusted person in your life, and then they could go and become your worst enemy who knows how to hurt you because they were once your most trusted person.
The worst.
Yeah. Is there anything that describes what happened between them better than what she wrote back in 2020? The worst kind of betrayal, she says. Writing this song, I realized that in all superhero stories, the hero's greatest nemesis is often the villain who used to be their best friend. Isn't that kind of goosebumps when you hear it now? She also said, the idea really stuck with me, the notion that in the beginning of a friendship, there's this beautiful moment when neither person knows that
One day they'll hate each other and try to really take each other out.
Isn't this just insane when you hear it now? How ironic is it that Blake Lively chose this song for It Ends With Us when you hear about the meaning of the song from Taylor Swift? Isn't that just kind of ironic? I mean, she could just release this song again now and say it's about Blake Lively. Kind of crazy. So thank you, Nicole, for sending this to me. When I heard this conversation, I was like, wow, this is almost creepy. Also this weekend, Blake Lively announced that Blake Brown, her successful brand that won an award for being the newcomer of the year earlier this year, that's not successful anymore, according to her, because of Justin Baldoni. It's his fault that her hair care line didn't sell, of course. And now she has added more products to the line, which is a mist. I'm sorry, I just don't get why you need a mist for your hair. That's not doing anything. It's just like making your hair smell good, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding this product, but I just don't understand what's the need to spray your hair. If you washed it, it smells good. So maybe if you have really dirty hair and you want it to smell fresh, I don't know. The thing is, Blake Lively cannot stay away from social media, and she needs to constantly brag about her success and her extremely busy social life. And it's all really bad for her lawsuit. It's like, I feel like she wants to lose this lawsuit now, or maybe she already realizes that she maybe will lose it. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if this product line can sell. They were complaining. I think they were saying that the other products, there was shampoo and hair mask, whatever it was, that the sale had potentially dropped 80%, so it was 80% less because of Justin Baldoni. I mean, they're blaming him for everything. It's insane. Okay, so yesterday I spoke about a Reddit post that someone had posted with a conversation, or it was an email from Melissa Nathan to Jennifer Abel talking about this smear campaign that they were planning or whatever towards Blake Lively and how much it was going to cost Wayfair or Justin Baldoni's team. There were some numbers out there. One package they could order was $175,000. Another one was for $25,000. And I broke down in my video yesterday the meaning of this post and why it's now on Reddit again. It was already official back when Blake Lively sued Justin Baldoni, but now some Blake Lively supporters or her team have posted this again on Reddit to remind everyone that there was a smear campaign and Baldoni is evil. Anyways, so I looked into things a little bit more to explain, what was really happening and how Blake Lively's team did exactly the same thing to him. Someone pointed out and sent me another Reddit thread today, which kind of explains things a little bit more, because it said here that there is a piece of information here that was in this thread, which was part of a lot of text messages that Blake Lively's team sent to LA Times right after they had filed that CRD complaint. They sent all these extra text messages to LA Times. They were just sending out all this information. I mean, talking about smear campaign. I mean, if this wasn't a smear campaign against someone just sharing personal information and personal text from someone's phone that you actually got from a fake subpoena or a sham lawsuit, that's not a smear campaign. What this Reddit post emphasizes here is that Justin Baldoni's team never went for any of these packages, the 175,000K or the 25,000K, to control the narrative or to help, Baldoni's reputation or to smear Blake. And here's the email that actually proves that. And it says here, in a later email, it clearly states that they seem to have agreed on an even cheaper package, which I'm guessing was just monitoring and data analysis, like Jed Wallace attested to in his sworn affidavit. That would cost them $15,000. On top of the 15K, they were already paying TAG for the crisis mitigation work. So it says here that they only paid $15,000 and they didn't go for that package of $175,000 that promised them all this stuff. It says here that it expressly states in that email and does not include what we discussed with Melissa Nathan earlier regarding social manipulation. And the person says their own effing evidence disproves the smear campaign. And to me, this says, remember that Blake Lively is suing over a retaliation campaign for SH. And if she can't prove there was any SH, how can she prove that there was retaliation for that? I think that's a big question that I keep asking myself. Why, if she can't prove there was any SH, which she hasn't been able to so far, the way I see it, unless you think that video when she was biting his lip was him harassing her. And as we know, by now, probably this is her only evidence. And no one that has seen any of this evidence that are critical thinkers can see that there was any age involved. So then to me, it seems like then this whole claim just falls apart, because what was he retaliating against if there was no SH? But anyways, someone asked an interesting question here in this thread saying that what is the legal definition of a smear campaign? Interesting question, actually, because I didn't know that. So I looked it up, and it says here a smear campaign is a deliberate effort to damage someone's reputation through the spread of false, misleading, or exaggerated information, often through the media, social platforms, or other public channels. False, misleading, and exaggerated information. I don't think any of the information that came out about Blake Lively was false or misleading. it was her own words. It was her own interviews that came back to haunt her, the one I did, obviously, and other interviews she did in regards to promoting the movie. So none of that was false or misleading. It was just herself. So I tried to find out if it can also be called a smear campaign if the information is actually true. Okay, so here it says, even if the facts are accurate, a campaign can be labeled as smear. The intent, if the intent is malicious, designed solely to damage someone's reputation. The information is selectively presented, highlighting only damaging truths while omitting context or positive facts to create a misleading narrative. The timing is strategic, such as releasing embarrassing facts during a political race or right before a big career move. The tone or framing is exaggerated or inflammatory, even if the core facts are technically true. To me, this sounds like a description of what Blake Lively's team has been doing towards Justin Baldoni's team. Just saying. As we've seen lately, there are not that many people supporting Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively anymore. And thanks, Glenda, for sending me this tip, by the way. So she sent me an article from OK Magazine from August 2024 when Michele, oh God, I can never pronounce his name, Morone, her co-star from Another Simple Favor, and he was interviewed here. This is definitely a planted piece that he was interviewed to talk about how lovely it was to work with Blake Lively on A Simple Favor 2. And this was in August of last year. So this was like a long time ago. But it was around the time, of course, when It Ends With Us premiered and there were negative comments about Blake Lively in the press. So he said that I would like to mention Ryan as well because he's such a sweetheart. Once we ended shooting, he personally sent me a message saying how grateful he was for me to have treated Blake in a very polite and nice way on set. And then he said, Blake became some sort of sister for me and we became extremely friendly. So obviously they really had a grip on this guy already back then. And then he was the only other actor, it seems, from Another Simple Favor that was invited to attend the Deadpool Wolverine premiere. He was posing with Ryan Reynolds on the red carpet. You know, he was like, hey, best buddies. And then he posted a photo, surprise, surprise, of the three of them together on January 26, which was about a month after Blake Lively had filed her lawsuit. So they already groomed him back in the summer, and Ryan Reynolds sent him this lovely email. This so manipulative. I have no words for it. And he commented on the picture, missed you guys, love you. As Glenda pointed out, maybe it was Ryan Reynolds who rewrote Another Simple Favor and made him gay. Oh, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie there, sorry. But made him gay in the movie so that Blake couldn't have any intimate scenes with him. I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing surprises me anymore with these people. It's insane. Also, another story from Glenda. Thank you so much. She's amazing. And little applause for Glenda because she sent me so many really fascinating, good stories. She's so good at doing her research. And she sent me this story about Wrexham flying to Las Vegas to celebrate their big win. You know, the Ryan Reynolds soccer team or football team or whatever. They flew to Vegas on a private jet. Okay, if you missed me talking about this before, Ryan Reynolds went to the UN to sign a sustainability contract with the UN, especially for soccer. One of the things specifically that's been pointed out that you should not fly private. It's so bad for the environment. And he went to the UN proudly posing with people at the UN signing this contract. And here, another article about his team flying private, which was something that they were already really criticized for. It says here that the players flew out on a private jet on Thursday with trips to a pool party, the Bellagio Hotel and Hakkasan nightclub in Las Vegas. After spending the day loading up with beers, some of the players reportedly got a little overexcited and started jumping in the elevator, causing it to break down. It took firefighters an hour to get the players out, but after being released, they had one of the best tables at the venue, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, good for them that they can celebrate, But don't pretend to be sustainable when you fly private. The hypocrisy never ends. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching Flawsome Talk. I love you guys so much. You are amazing and you are so good at finding really interesting tips for me to talk about. So please keep doing that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Flawsome Talk. And I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.